Boy has it been a moment. With the holidays now over, I figured I'd pull my finger out and show what I got up to over the holiday period, which sadly isn't too much. As you'll see from the title, it's New Century heavy, and I originally just set out to build the Blitz team, but that didn't really go to plan because Harry Champ came to visit, and then Doc Toros wheeled out the other 3 CAS sets for the Zero. Basically, I got 8 kits deep in the blink of an eye. Done over the course of a few building sessions over a few days, I started with remaking my old Liger Zero that had been sitting in a lockbox tin for years because it kept hand grenading, a few times too many. So basically the idea was to go back, rebuild it, and put glue in all the places that needed it. There really wasn't much to do with it aside from a general rebuild, but with some of the minor pieces missing, the spare parts BT kit that I keep on hand filled the gaps just fine. Definitely coming in handy with one of the leg stems breaking off inside the port, but that didn't really slow me down either. All I did was simply drill out the center of it and then push the rest through the back and cleared out the hole, and it was back to normal pretty quickly. Onto Jamie's Terrace, the thing that bugs me about this kit is it's not a Raynos. His Raynos I feel is a lot more recognizable for most folks because the Terrace is just a standard kit with a little Jamie pilot. And it's kinda boring for an anime limited release, but it's to be expected because it wasn't really that flashy in the show either. I've already done a multi-part build video with the Terrace in the past, but to summarize it as a kit, it's a pretty straightforward kit with shared parts from the Iguan and Godos, and it doesn't need too much detailing to make it pop, and make sure that you glue the bombs on the wings or they're going to come off pretty often. With the recent couple kits Koto are redoing, Lena's Gun Sniper and Irvine's Sykes, maybe there's hopes of a Jamie Raynos down the line, but I'm not going to hold my breath. Moving on to Lena's Gun Sniper, and Lord have mercy I forgot how much of a pain in the neck it was to pose this thing. Having built the last one in around 2013, I think. The difference between hers and the W2 is the W2 has less guns and is a bit more sturdy, with a few of the guns on Lena's sniper being loose, and coupled with trying to pose it, as mentioned before, it can be pretty damn frustrating. The overall build isn't bad, with all of the sections being alright and glue being recommended for loose areas that you don't want to come apart, but sadly the elbow arm joins being loose is always annoying. If you're like me and rarely touch them when built though, that's probably not going to be a problem. I'm keen to see what the build is like with the coming recolor, which I hope tightens things up overall, so we'll have to wait and see. Heading on to Brad's Command Wolf, it's comical to me that this is the first actual Command Wolf build that I've done here, without turbo nuking it into a destroyed diorama piece. Don't think I won't do it again. Brad's Wolf is effectively the early version of a repack Command Wolf, given that it has the exact same guns and setup for the LC, AC and Rye 3, so you actually get a lot of choice with them, and despite the jokes and destruction of wolves in this house, I actually recommend this kit off channel to folks pretty often if you can get your hands on one of the repacks, not the Brad one because that's got a pretty high price tag to it. The inclusion of the options is a great idea and it only adds value to the overall kit and customizing potential for it, along with being a pretty generally nice build I think. Specifically regarding Brad's wolf armor, the metallic pearl blue is absolutely stunning, but due to the nature of being molded, it has swirls and inconsistent looks here and there, and although they are subtle, they can be seen in light. It doesn't really bother me, but if I was to fix the armor or change it, I'd simply use SMS pearl, deep blue pearl that is. And I think that'd come up a treat. And with that, the Blitz team is done. Moving on, we've got a non-Blitz build, but definitely deserving of a spot in this video, considering how New Century heavy it is. A man destined to be king, the one and only Harry Champ with his glorious Darkhorn special. This kit is a rather big one, and if you can snag it for a decent price, out of the gate, do it. I feel like this gold is Koto's best injected gold by a landslide, and the special Harry parts look absolutely amazing, and it goes together really damn well. Out of all of the 8 builds I did here back to back, his took the longest by far, and was up there in terms of enjoyment overall for Koto kits. And I'm really hoping they remake this kit for all the folks who don't have one yet, because despite the age, it holds up really nicely, and if you're a fan of New Century like I am, it's pretty mandatory for a collection, especially given how prominent Harry is in the series. Given I already did a standard Darkhorn a while back, my thoughts from then echo the same in this kit, considering it's mostly the same, which are, the head has confusing moments in the forms of the frills on the head and the little pieces used to join the plates to the head. Darkhorns and horns in general are pretty good value for money if they aren't limited like this one, which attracts, an inflated price point of course. They're definitely a solid challenge for those looking to do their first larger kit. Circling back around, since I had no standard CAS Liger Zeros done, I decided to keep the ball rolling and just simply tackle all 3 with this lot, starting with the Jaeger. Now don't get me wrong, I like the Jaeger, but it's not something that I jump at. If I have other options on the table, I'm not really going to be picking the Jaeger over them. The kit is fine, with the only bothersome areas that come to mind, specifically relating to the CAS variant, not just the base 0, are the attack boosters, which can pop out of place when you're clasping the sides together, resulting in needing to pull them apart and pop the pegs back in. And that's basically the little adjustable fins on the back of them. Given how old the 3 CAS variants are, they still hold up decently, and like the base 0, they benefit from a little gluing here and there for stability. Next up was the Schneider, and in terms of this specific variant, the problematic areas are found in the head, with the big backwards flowing main parts, along with its blades. The blades are pretty fragile, so be extra careful while you're trimming and fitting them to the housings they have, and then to the head itself. Personally, I don't plan on doing too much moving with mine because of this issue, but for those of you who like to change poses often, just handle it with care or you're going to have a bad time. Finally, we have the best 0, the Panzer. I left this one to last because, well, I've built a lot of them, and I do enjoy them, so basically it's like ending with dessert for me. So I am pretty biased to this lad, but I'm not blind to the annoyances, such as, in my opinion, the shoulder units being way too easy to pop off when posing, and some of the leg armors also liking to do the same, so glue where necessary or it's going to act like Bit 0 and drop armor plates like it's hot. I also believe that the Panzer has the best or longest build time of all the Zeros when having all of the extra pieces to contend with, it is the longest build time, followed by the Schneider. And thankfully, the best news is all of the CAS sets had a production run from mid to the end of last year, so basically if you've missed out on them, I'd start looking because they're going to start drying up again. Anyhow, that was quite the build and was really enjoyable while I was on holidays. So I do apologize for the quiet period here, but I didn't really have plans over the holidays to make too many videos, just simply unwind for a little bit and kick back and relax while doing some models here and there, so... That being said, the D-Bison custom is slowly coming along. I have some other plans for it, which are going to take a decent amount of time. But up next, or rather soon, I'll be doing another custom Zoids paint in a 35th scale Panzer III, so until then, take care and happy modeling.